Welcome back to the Amazon European Masters. 7 games for you today. We have a tiebreaker coming your way between Movistar Riders and PDW. The winner will go out as first seed, the loser rather out as second. And PDW just came off a win. Now it's 1-1 apiece between these guys, of course, but PDW did make that last game look really, really easy for them in those team fights. Movistar Riders clearly just need to go back to the drawing board, especially it feels in that top side of the map where Color was able to blind pick Jace. There was no response and he made it work.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was the biggest problem in their previous matchup. Obviously, like you said, 1-1 apiece. Today it went to PDW. Last time they played, it was Movistar. So honestly, I think this one's going to be kind of hard to call. I think the Movistar in general have looked really good today, outside of that one specific game. And yeah, it's just, will Maxlore get Viego again? That's a big question. I think that was like the only, yeah, obviously it was the only game he lost from Viego. It's the only game the whole team's lost. But he's looked really good on that Viego as well. And just a little, they were sloppy at times during those team fights. And the setups for their plays, PW punished it perfectly. That's why I want to see change.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be very draft dependent, of course, as well. Don't expect we're going to get too much in terms of spice this time round. I think both these teams really going to be approaching this with a cool, calm, collected mentality. Again, not many risk-taking opportunities, especially in a game that means so much in terms of seeding. And whilst you might say, well, it's only for seeding, both these guys are exiting. This is like the difference between facing K-Corp or, you know, a team that you maybe feel is more beatable from the outset. You know, I think, of course, you have to beat everybody when it comes to the knockout stages, really, to go ahead and win the European Masters, but sometimes making that deeper run is good for your confidence. You don't want to get knocked out in that first stage. We have a Trundle ban, a Xin ban. It is a lot of targets. I think Xin was a real issue for Movistar Riders in those team fights before from Bruness. They're not going to see that this game.
Yeah, and Bruness has played it more than once today too, so taking that one away, no surprise. Again, looks like we're running back the bans from last time here from the side of PDW. And Movistar getting rid of the Aphelios this time. Yes, Odie is not going to get that one. No surprise there. He was absolutely disgusting. One of the hardest AD carry performances I think I've seen in the E-Masters so far. Slap that one down. Not going to play versus it.
Yeah, and I think Odie really showed why that champion is pretty disgusting if you give them enough time. Ziggs will remain a consistent ban here versus PDW. I've only just noticed how hilarious PDW's logo is. Absolutely love it. It's Lee Sin, though, for Bruness. Immediately responded with the Viego for Maxlore and the Ryze locked in for XKenzuke.
No real surprises here. Viego, Maxlore's most played champion, and he's looked very strong on it. I don't think he was a problem last time around. I think the Ryze as well, a very solid pick, very good blind pick, and you can take it away from Czajek, who plays it as well. Can't really go wrong with locking in this champion. Pretty much to be expected so far with our picks, Lee Sin, Viego, and Ryze. Let's see how we round out our first set of picks. It's going to be Caitlyn for Odie.
Caitlyn gets locked in very early on here. Good ranged carry, very difficult to threaten her. I said PDW. Okay, there we go. It's going to be Thresh and a Thresh Caitlyn lane, and it's very safe. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Movistar Riders to draft a super kind of like safe bot lane as well, and also quite a dominant bot lane to deal with in the laning phase too.
Ooh, Akali. That's a face we ain't seen in a while. I don't want to. We're not going to see her. I don't want to see her either. Disgusting champion. I think this is the problem right now. You got to lock in something that can protect, because Venzer's most likely going to be playing a bit weak side here, and if you've got something that can play towards that a little bit and make it hard, honestly, for PDW to translate this push and this pressure that they're going to get in the bot side, turn that into a dive or something like that, it's difficult to do against a Braum, so good luck in there.
Imagine some solo lane bans, specifically mid lane bans here against Czajek. Orianna could be one. Jace is definitely getting taken off the cards here for Color. Makes absolute sense given the last game. I'd imagine Ashe is an easy target here for PDW, but it will be the Gangplank taken off the board first and foremost. Maybe Kennen as well for Marky. Got to remember that Marky likes to play that champion on the top side of the map. It was relatively influential for Movistar Riders in their Penta game.
Yeah.
But it will leave Ashe
it has
open.
its moments. I think this is the thing right here, is like, you've got a Braum, so I personally wouldn't be too afraid of the Kennen on, like, you don't have to ban it yourself. And as you say, I think, you know, if PW either want to go for something like the Ashe or the Kennen instead, then that would make a lot of sense. Twisted Fate being picked out instead, which is often an answer into the Ryze. Not necessarily as good in that lane, but you do have great gank setup and you can run around the map. A bit like Ryze who's good with the roams with that party portal. Yeah, bang on Kin, make it is going to be that Kennen ban. Taken away from Movistar. We saw Marky play that already, and he did have his moments in those team fights. Very, very tough lane to play against. See Movistar decide to take as their last champions.
Something that Venzer is particularly good at is that Ezreal can maintain range in the late game and can deal with Caitlyn a little bit more effectively. But in the laning phase, will struggle. They're okay with that. They're okay with being a weak side on the bot edge of the map, and it'll be Venzer locking in the Ezreal now. Something that was banned previously was the Camille. Whether color feels like blind picking the Camille in this scenario, we'll have to see. We have the Orianna available for Czajek. I would not be surprised to see the Orianna locked in. It's something that's very comfortable into that Ryze. It retains a lot of team fight utility, and then it's up to see what color blinds picks without that Jace available.
And here we go. I think Camille's actually a really good shout. That's been taken away for a lot of games so far. As you mentioned, no Jace going to be available, no Gangplank, no Kennen. So you're pinched a little bit on the top side. Nar still available, maybe a Renekton if you want to as well.
There is a TP Ignite for color.
That might be. Is it going to be the Scissor Lady? I'm not sure. He hasn't played it so far, but it
yeah,
is,
there we go. It is the
down.
Camille. It was banned in the previous series, and I think it's something that they actually banned on first rotation as well, but that was substituted out for Aphelios this time around. And again, like, you know, this would be more appropriate, I think, but like, you know, when you see a carry locked in from PDW and then you just lock in a tank randomly, that kind of defeats the point of the R5 for Movistar Riders, but they don't. They go for the Gwen. Goodness me, that is a Gwen lock-in. We haven't seen too many of those recently, but Snip Lady finds her way into the top lane here for Movistar Riders.
And I think this was an interesting concept we saw executed in the last time these two teams met. Movistar on the top side had Malphite, which is more of a role player, more of a team fight orientated champion, whereas PDW had the Jace, who is a threat by himself, and that extra threat actually turned into quite a lot of positives for PDW, not least to mention the whole way the game ended, where he pushed down one lane and just backdoored them and won the whole thing. So the fact that Movistar now are the ones with that extra threat on the top side too, they've matched that this time around, and you can play towards the top side. Like, you've got Braum bot, that's absolutely fine. You let them chill, they're gonna get dumpstered by Caitlyn lane, that's cool. They're just having a good time. Then you go top side, try and get Gwen ahead. 2 ignites top, no flashes. It's going to be spicy.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this Lee Sin does as well. Something that was banned away versus Bruness last time. He first picked the Lee Sin, and that means he's now going to be probably taking the fight to Maxlore. I think Lee, based on my limited knowledge, probably has a good matchup into Viego, at least early on. And so probably can look for some skirmishes if it suits him on the map.
I think they're pretty evenly matched, if nothing else. So yeah, it's definitely something that you're not going to shy away from, at least. Obviously, though, as we've learned, nowadays League of Legends isn't necessarily a 1v1 jungle game. It's more about who gets priorities in their lanes to collapse in the river and make plays around their junglers. And we'll see like whether the Ryze or the Ori can get that first push in mid. I think that's a lot of the playmaking is going to come from early on for both these teams. It looks like Movistar as well for Maxlore. He's going to be taking a similar path to what he did before, which is where he started at chickens, then cleared his blue and his grump. Then he went back up, took his red, came back down, took his crab, and then cleared his wolves and his chickens on the respawn. So he might be going for something funky there again if he fancies that. Looks like actually they're going to do an alternative invade for the bot side.
Yeah, Movistar Riders maybe grouping up here on the bot side of the map. They will walk straight over a ward though, which is going to allow Bruness to do the same thing as he heads into that red side jungle. Movistar Riders have complete information though. They know exactly what's going on as they had that ward covered. But it should be a red for red trade overall.
Right here, this benefits a teeny bit the side of Movistar, because if you're not going to get a leash, then it benefits having a Viego who can just power through these camps, especially these AoE camps, whereas Lee Sin will be a little bit slower on the uptake right now. So we'll see whether we get these return invades. You can see that Maxlore did not take the last chicken, so he's not planning He's not planning to come back here in this jungle. It's not going to reset the camp, and that means that Bruness, if he doesn't get the invade and take Maxlore's chickens on the respawn, he's going to be down a camp, having that chicken camp just sitting there with that one little baby chicken.
We'll see if he does the same on the Krugs here. Maybe looking to neuter red side jungle for Bruness overall. Looks like he went for a full clear onto the Krugs though, so...
Yeah, Krugs are a lot harder to do because you've got like the Russian doll effect where everything just pops out, right?
Yeah,
and so you have to keep one alive for a long time. And it's a bit tricky to do that. And then especially when the big one dies, 2 little medium ones pop out. And it's like, now you've got 3 medium ones. Which one's the one you can't kill in order to not reset the camp? Yeah, it's terribly complicated. And we're, as junglers, you just see camp, kill camp. So yeah, it's not really our forte to use our brain, I suppose.
Well, Maxlore obviously did when it came to setting up that Razorbeak camp for the second time round, and as you mentioned, be interested to see if he does indeed choose to prioritize vision and control over his own red side so that he can essentially go there upon respawn, have they upgraded camps ready to go, whereas Bruness, as you said, hasn't even checked that red side, so hasn't seen that there is still a single little chicken waiting for him.
How is he only level 2? Oh, yeah. So Marky took away some of that Krug camp, right, which meant that he wasn't able to ding 3. This honestly massively benefits Maxlore, not just right now, but as his camps reset as well. Maxlore's hit level 4, whereas Bruness just hit level 3. Perfect for Maxlore here. And this top side is going to respawn. He'll take that one away, and Bruness will go into his bot side and realize he can't do the same. So yeah, absolutely massive advantage here for Viego.
And that is about to see a respawn on those Razorbeaks. Don't really have the priority for go for top scuttle here.
But they ping the invade. They're going to go back for it. This will be our first fight of the game.
Yeah, I think Color realizes Maxlore's just going to smite that away though, and will escape with the path. And this is Bruness now. You might see a collapse coming through here because
One's on his way.
Yeah, we actually see Duel on his way over, and massive win for Movistar Riders. They double scuttle with a stray little smite and collapse nicely with the roam from Duel to allow Maxlore to get this respawned Razorbeak camp. And now you see Bruness has figured out that his camp hasn't been fully taken, and that's a little unfortunate.
It's a disaster for the Lee Sin. That's not happy days right there. There's already a significant lead, and he's not able to pick that one up. And oh my goodness, it's just perfect. It's just perfect lining up right here for Movistar and Maxlore. Like, this is the kind of thing, like, jungle pathing can make such a huge difference, and sometimes it does take a little bit more planning ahead, a bit like what Movistar have done this game, but when it works, you can see the big difference right here. Already a significant difference between these two junglers.
Going well for Movistar Riders from the outset. Certainly putting pressure onto Bruness, and you can see Maxlore now level 5. Color decides to go in, doesn't quite tank the Wrath of the minion wave because it is a rather spicy minion wave to fight in, but he'll get away with it. Has a huge amount of minions to work with as well, so should end up finding himself with a pretty healthy CS lead over Marky here on the top side of the map.
Now Maxlore's bottom side camps are gonna respawn as well. It's just so efficient, man. It's actually poetry in motion. He's just picking everything up as it spawns. He's very happy about that. He will hit level 6 before Bruness, obviously. I mean, he just hit 5, but 3 more camps and he will get that 6. He's got the pushing bot side as well if he wants to go for an objective. xKenzuke or Recall have that TP. So yeah, they're getting everything they want and more. Not only do they have the superior pathing for individual strength and individual gold and XP, but also going to slap down this first dragon of the game. Very, very good stuff from Movistar Riders.
And that's a nice little path back into the blue side here for Maxlore.
Yeah.
No issues whatsoever. He is just farming on a respawn right now and picking up the neutral objectives along the way. And at the same time, Venzer has had a very, very easy laning phase versus Odie on this Caitlyn as well.
Absolutely, he's not struggling at all. He's actually ahead in CS right here, which is a bit criminal. Not gonna lie, if you've got a Caitlyn lane and she's not having a CS lead, she's not pushing down. Yeah, you can't really get away with that, especially against an Ez who doesn't really have the wave clear. Don't think they're gonna get this crab. It is finally a little bit of mercy going over to Bruness here, picking up his first crab of the game.
Maxlore's red side jungle is about to respawn as well, so that red buff will be coming back onto the map shortly. Maxlore will go and take those third spawn of the Razor Beaks, and as we said, just keeping himself a toe's length ahead of Bruness right now.
Oh yeah, it's one of the big toes as well. One of the lanky ones. He's definitely feeling good about this. As he hits 6, he's about to hit 6 after this red buff, most likely. We'll see if he can do something with that advantage though, because that is, you know, the difference between 5 and 6 is pretty significant. We'll see if he goes for a skirmish play with that ulti.
I mean, what you can tell from these teams is that no one, as we said, is taking risks when it matters most. Both teams just really just trying to take those minute advantages and try and use those to build towards something tangible. We have a Rift Herald spawning soon enough though, and topside has been where PDW is strongest right now. Color has the edge over Marky just in terms of priority on the most part, and Czajek is now starting to push back against xKenzuke. Maxlore is there. I haven't seen Duel roam over yet, but Venzer is making the roam very early on. They are leaving Odie down on the bot side of the map here. They are very well aware of where kubY is, and they're actually going to pull him in as they kick him back. Has to use the Heartbreaker to get away, but First Blood goes over. But in the meantime, it doesn't matter. They are going to get a double kill in response. First Blood to Thresh as well. Not exactly the most ideal target. Movistar Riders, they're able to pounce much more quickly than PDW were able to react.
They got that one extra kill in the play. Unfortunately, for Movistar Riders, Maxlore just went a little bit too over-aggressive. You are not tanky, you can't survive that one, and it's the Ignite that burns him down, and meaning he can't get any of those resets and make that play happen. Again, just don't really want to be the one to go first here. Takes a lot of damage. Perfect combo here from Bruness using his ward hops to get behind Maxlore and kick him away from safety. A lot of damage coming through. He's going to fall down, but honestly, all of that stuff's good, man. All of that stuff's good for Movistar. 2 kills over to Gwen as well. She's having a great time.
Yeah, working towards what I guess will be Riftmaker as her first item. As you mentioned, she's super happy to be the benefactor of a double kill here. Already looking scary in these skirmishes, will continue to do so. The second dragon not yet spawning, but Bruness is now going to get onto that Rift Herald, and unfortunately Movistar Riders not really in a position to help out. They're even going to teleport Czajek in to ensure that they secure this. Movistar Riders aren't able to respond anywhere else on the map realistically, as bot lane has not been set up for success right now.
No, this is the first proactive play from PDW that's going to work out in their favor, and I don't think Movistar are going to have anything to answer away with. Yeah, you can take some jungle camps on the bot side, but it's not really anything significant. Nothing major to write home about, and PDW are fully aware of this. Maxlore's on a ward. That's greedy, Czajek.
That is absolutely greedy. He does have that flash available though. Shockwave will come through, but it's not really going to net him anything other than disengaging, which was already happening when Maxlore turned around.
Absolutely. He wanted to try and just make it so Maxlore couldn't take all of those chickens for free. We're going to get another play here. Bruness doesn't have a ward hop for this play.
No, and Color has got a Hextech ultimatum though. Marky trying to buy himself some time. He has that ultimate. He finds his first kill. Will trade down for the shutdown on Bruness, but a 2v1 and you getting a kill out of it, you'll take every day of the week.
But having said that, of course, you're putting your jungle topside for PDW. That means the rest of your map is open. And how does Movistar react? Well, they don't. They don't really have a reaction. Maxlore was kind of semi-pathing top as well. He was caught in 2 mines. He's going to get his own chicken camp, but it's nothing significant. So these plays that PDW are making towards the top side of the map, first the Herald, then that kill as well. No good responses from Movistar.
And a big shutdown as well. Nice chunk of gold going over to Bruness, who had been otherwise struggling and has now found himself firmly back in a strong position from the jungle. Second Drake will be something that I imagine that Movistar look to play around, but Bruness is also keying that in. Sitting close to kubY, who doesn't quite manage to make the hook land. You can see Bruness just waiting out of vision for the time being. Maxlore will end up starting up this Drake. But Bruness actually has the level advantage now at level 8 to level 7.
See whether there's an answer here for PDW on this dragon. We have a roaming Marky. He's in the mid lane right now. I think you just got to give this one up.
Yeah, you don't have your Camille near enough, and I don't think teleport is worth expending for this. It'll be a second dragon in the game. You don't need to throw your life away for that second dragon. Movistar Riders will get it for free.
Absolutely. Going back to the slow pace of this game. Now that the objective's been taken off of the board, there's no Herald either to go for. Of course, Bruness will want to slap down that Herald at some point. Bot lane only has 3 turrets left if he does want to go for the first blood turret. But we'll see what he decides to do, because there's a lot of options, honestly. Like, you can even slap it down mid, which is always a good idea, especially against a Ryze. But at this point, Bruness just wants to get gold out of that. And I think it would be cool to put it down bot, and then you can start moving your Caitlyn around and really take advantage of that range and that early game strength. But just keep your eyes on the Lee Sin and what he decides to do with that Herald pocket.
You can always go for the 1-2 Herald play on that mid lane tier 1. If you get any opportunities, you just drop it, and then the second one usually finishes it off. It's always a nice tower to have open over the course of 2 Rift Heralds. Looks like there's a big commit towards the top side of the map here. Marky pushing that wave in. Very well aware from Color. Will back off and will give some free tower plates over to Marky as Maxlore just takes away a bit of the jungle.
But then I'm looking at the minimap. What's PDW deciding to do with this top side pressure? They're running mid. Now I think you probably could have just ran it down bot instead and just gone for those plates.
I mean, the minion wave was at the tower as well.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a miss right here from PDW personally. You had an opportunity there to really siege down that bot, and you've only got like 15 seconds left. Here goes the Herald. The Herald's been placed down in mid.
Should be able to get at least a few plates gifted over to Odin. Get one little tap on the tower. And that's a decent chunk of gold, and that does set up for a potential 2 Herald take on the mid lane. As Movistar Riders did let that one drive in for free as they had backed xKenzuke.
That's 3 plates, I believe, going down in the mid side. Either way, it's a decent amount of gold for OD, and exactly as you said, that's now going to set up nicely for any future sieges in mid, which is always nice when you're playing versus a champion that has good wave play like Ryze. We're going to get a fight.
Oh, they kick him straight into xKenzuke. As there is the disengaged Venzer on the back line. Has to be careful as the Hextech ultimatum is available. He's going to be forced to flash away. Czajek looking for the shockwave, finds it, but actually drags Venzer away from the fight. That is a double kill going the way of PDW, and Movistar Riders just not able to react, but they may end up getting first tower of the game for it, in which case Movistar Riders may feel a little happier with the outcome of that situation.
It's definitely a decent consolation prize, that's for sure. Just got to respect Bruness here, sitting in the fog of war. Movistar's not expecting it, and that's totally intended, of course, from Bruness, going for that crazy geometry kick there on the Lee Sin. And is enough to pick up DuaLL and Venzer on the backside right here as well. But 2 kills, like you say, for a first blood tower top. It's a fairly equal trade, especially when you consider the fact that Marky now is really funneled, and he's going to be hard to deal with in these sides.
Yeah, I don't even know if Color is going to have the legs to take him down at this point. They do get a tower take on the bot side of the map here. Now, second Rift Herald is spawning soon. I think the Movistar have to be concerned with fighting this one. I think this is something that Movistar are going to have to commit some resources to, because we mentioned before, you give this one over, it is a free tower mid, and that opens up the map for PDW. You are right now in the lead with about 1,000 gold in their back pocket, partly through plates, but obviously off the back of that little engage there as well. Find themselves in a strong spot. Marky actually committing. There is a lot of resources put into this top side. I imagine the Movistar Riders really do want to make this happen and go for this Rift Herald. They're going to get an early teleport as well, really making them aware of their intentions.
Yeah, I think PDW just going to want to give this one through. You have an inside track to push down mid if you want to do that instead. Movistar Riders are a little bit too strong right now, especially Marky, absolutely huge. They've all got their 1-item power spikes. The same cannot be said for PDW. That's a good realm warp, though, to defend this mid tower.
Yeah, they really have to go for it. You can see Marky did the shockwave, doesn't really get enough done. They really are just concerned with clearing that wave out. The inside track was there, but they weren't able to take down that mid lane tier 1. It is on its last legs, realistically, and you can see that PDW are committing to this play. Movistar Riders have a lot of wave clear, though, if they want to make it work. Marky's backing, though. This is a little dangerous. I think Movistar Riders can't afford to give up much pressure around this mid lane tier 1. You know, Bruness is hovering. They are looking for a potential kick here.
I think you got to give it up if you're Movistar.
Oh, wow.
You can't defend this one. Yeah,
we find the kick onto Marky. He's got that shutdown available. Doesn't have the flash. The hook is there as well. Venzer drops. PDW, and then they made it so obvious. They made it so obvious what they were trying to do, and Movistar just let it happen.
That's so disrespectful from the Spanish team right there. You know something's gonna happen right there. You know you're vulnerable. PW positioning to just... It couldn't be more textbook. It couldn't be more telegraphed. Movistar Riders still fall foul to it. It was a very good hook at the end of the play, though, to catch Venzer and get an extra kill when all's said and done. And this Dragon going down 2, which will put a stop on that Dragon Soul wink on here for Movistar Riders. But yeah, it's just... you just gotta see it coming, man. You just gotta see it coming. It's a decent shutdown as well onto Marky, and then that errant hook, which is just coming out of nowhere, catches the Ezreal right in the face. Oh, but that's so good for PDW. Getting all that gold, getting the objectives.
Well, I don't know what they were. Why move the Ryze out of mid? Like, what were you getting? Like a bit of solo experience in a wave?
If you're doing that, you've got to move out. You've got to move everyone else out of mid as well.
Yeah, you just got to sack. You literally just have to sack mid lane tier 1. I mean, it just felt a little odd.
I agree, mate. It did feel a little odd.
I mean, look, I am just an unintelligent caster. You know, I don't understand the inner workings of teams' decision making to the level that they do, but it just felt a little odd.
I think it's honestly a fair comment because it did. I can't. Yeah, we'll just say these guys had some kind of 4K chess idea, and maybe it just didn't pan out, or maybe we yet to see it as Marky's going to get engaged. Yeah,
Cutler looking for the engage. He has got that ignite. There's the ultimate coming through. I mean, no, Jesus moly, that's Gwen.
I mean, what?
Snip, snip, baby.
Wait.
Do you know, I'm not even going to talk about it.
I'm just going to Google Gwen release date.
Was it
2021?
Was it
yeah,
2021?
it's 2021. Yeah, okay, so that's
okay.
what happened right there. Yeah, 15th of April. Yeah, okay. That explains that. Marky's going to get that solo kill against Camille. Camille, you should have been released later, mate. Sorry. Unluck to you. It looks like Marky might get collapsed on though by Czajek. He's going to dip their minds. This is a good response here for Movistar Riders. Going to get his first blood tower. Well, not first blood tower, sorry, the first mid tower.
Yeah, opens up the map a little bit more for them. Odie actually did pick up that red buff, but he traded red buff for mid lane tier 1 as well as bot lane tier 1. And do you know what, Movistar Riders, they actually get something back. It looked almost doomed for them off the back of that mid lane play, but they very quickly bounced back into action. And to give massive credit to them, their solo laners are pretty strong right now.
They really are. Yeah, sorry, no, they're really strong, and just specific itemization to deal with the lane assignments. What I mean by that, Marky, you've got Ninja Tabby, you got your Zhonya's complete as well. Camille's going to struggle. She's going to struggle into that. Obviously, we saw Marky win the 1v1 regardless. It's not going to get any easier from here on out. And then who's your other option to try and take down Marky? Maybe Czajek? Maybe, oh, I mean, honestly, you don't have another option. You're just going to have to hope that Bruness can get a collapse on you. And that's always going to work out in your favor if you're Movistar. If you can force the enemy team to bring people towards you, you should get things on the other side of the map.
Still even though, I mean, it is bang on even as well. The kill score might not reflect it, but we are basically 50 gold separating Movistar Riders and PDW. That is yeah, I mean, why not?
We wouldn't have this game any other way. It speaks to the caliber of the teams. Both these teams are fighting for first spot in the group, coming out of Group B. There's a big difference, honestly, in E-Masters being that first seed or second, because we've got a lot of good teams.
Oh, that's a great engage into kubYD. Forces his flash as well. Odin with that, Odie with that red buff does go a little more aggressive onto Maxlore, but you take the Thresh flash where you can get it. Marky's still providing a nuisance in the side lane, and I love that they've given him more responsibility here. It didn't feel like he was able to make that happen on, well, it was, he just wasn't able to make that happen on the Malphite this time round, but that respect, that, I guess, confidence in him as for an R5 Gwen has paid dividends so far in this game. He just needs to see that home.
I love it. I love that point, because you're totally right. When he was playing Malphite, it's just a totally different style of champion, and the fact that Marky has had a good performance right here, it's beautiful stuff. Color's going to get semi-caught out, but not completely caught out. Just going to be able to hook shot away from that one. As Movistar now are taking control of the top side of the map. Got to keep sweeping that vision away, though. PDW keeps replacing it. Got to zoom out. We're going to get a fight.
Realm Walk straight on top of kubYD, who will die. He hasn't got flash. It is a shutdown, as if Marky. Do you know what? Who's the support here? It's Maxlore. He likes the hook, but it doesn't quite go through. As if Marky, he needed any more gold, though. 5 and 2 now with another shutdown.
He's already putting pain down in that side lane, isn't he? And getting some more goals is definitely gonna make that a little bit easier for him to do as well. He must be fairly close to his third item. Right as Dragon spawns, Kubi, he'll be alive, but I don't think he can get here in time. You should be able to rush this one down if you are Movistar, which will put you on soul point with the Cloud Soul, which honestly is fairly good for the side of Movistar, if not really good. Gwen throwing out those little spiky needles, going to be doing that at max speed. Same for Maxlore with his jumping in with his ulti. Like, everyone's just got get a lot of use out of this Cloud Soul. So that'd be a very powerful utility tool for these team fights.
And PDW are not convinced. They don't want to fight this. They're going to let that soul point drop. xKenzuke is doing a great job of just exerting some side lane pressure here. We'll see Marky walk his way over. Obviously, at this stage of the game, you're not going to bother exerting a TP for a tier 1 defense. You know that that TP is going to be far more useful in kind of creating side lane pressure towards the big objectives like Braum. Speaking of which, they find the River Scuttler just outside of that for PDW. And Marky...
That's the next... Yeah. Sorry, that's I keep interrupting you.
Nah, I have this habit of just randomly adding one sentence to the end of my sentence when I don't need to add the sentence.
I do that too, to be fair. That's why we're such a good pair.
I know. We just talk too much.
We're both bad at our jobs.
Both terrible at our jobs, and that's why we work well.
Beautiful. Well, as you're mentioning, Marky's an absolute terror, and it's really around this Baron where the next point of focus will be for both of these teams. Expect Movistar Riders to walk in there and take down that vision, sweep it all away, put in their own type of vision as well. If you can make PDW face check into, that would be very nice. But unlike some of the other games we've seen today, the Polish team has pretty good face checking tools. You've got Thresh Hook, you've got Caitlyn Q, Caitlyn Traps, Orianna Ball, Lee Sin Q. So you do have better ways to retake control of the map. We'll see though, because Movistar are on a ward here, and PW, what are they going to answer? They have full information on what's going on right here. Can they do anything? I don't think they can.
They were maybe looking to set up on an overextended Marky, but that didn't happen. Marky's spidey senses were tingling. He backed out. There is definitely collapse potential. I mean, you can see the way the Movistar Riders are positioned. They are just trying to utilize this side lane pressure to try and draw PDW away from mid and maybe make a pounce happen around there. But PDW very comfortable just shoving this mid lane in. And honestly, we've had such a lull for the last few minutes. I think it's important to well, I say that.
Here we go.
Here we go, Bruness. Yeah, I gotta say, I set up for it. Bruness immediately kicks xKenzuke away, but Maxlore says, no, you don't, not this time. And will steal his soul, setting up for this Baron. Marky is super strong right now. They don't have a jungler. The risk of smite steals are much lower. And Movistar Riders, they actually drag Marky in here. Has got that ultimate available. And kubYD forced to back away. Color forced to back away as well. They catch him, but it doesn't mean much. As the Realm Walk comes through, the shockwave is good, but it's not good enough. And Movistar Riders get a big win in the team fight just when they needed it.
Great turn right there from Movistar Riders to find themselves the 2 kills. PDW will be happy that the Baron's not going down, but it's still an advantage, still more gold in the pocket of Movistar. They're playing this game very, very well. They're playing the map right. The thing is as well, at this point, we could just see a rinse and repeat. And 2 minutes time, we've also got Soul Point coming up. The Rift is Movistar's oyster.
Let's take a look back at here again. I mean, this is actually after that main fight had happened. This is where they pull the Marky in.
Yeah, Marky getting caught, but of course not really caught because she's got that strange invulnerability shroud around her, so you can't finish her down. Like you said, the shockwave was good, but just not quite enough damage. It's a very good turn from Movistar to then back away. PW will be happy the Baron didn't go down. As a consolation prize, it's not too bad. Focus now goes on to re-securing vision in that top side, and of course, that Soul Point in 1 minute 30.
I think one of the problems that PDW are having right now, and you're kind of seeing it with the way the map is being played right now, Ryze, good side laner, actually opens up a really strong 1-3-1 opportunity for Movistar Riders. You can see they're constantly just exerting pressure through both the side lanes. They have enough wave clear in the form of the Ezreal himself to not worry too much about the siege potential of PDW and grouped up mid. Orianna, not good side laner. Not really good side laner anyway, and that's one of the problems that I think PDW are facing right now.
Absolutely, and it's one of the strengths of Ryze being an early pick and a blind pick. He's so malleable. You stick him in there lots of different situations, whether it's team fighting, laning, or side laning. He can do it all. He's a very versatile champion. Movistar now going to start this Baron. It should die pretty quickly. Let's see PDW's response.
We have a double teleport, and it will have to come through very quickly. PDW, I mean, they're just too late. They are just too late, and Ryze set up so much pressure in the side lane that Orianna had to respond to her inhibitor turret, and Movistar pounced immediately when they saw the fact.
30 seconds until Dragon. Movistar might just take it both. Or PDW are going to get a little bit caught.
That's the box coming through from DuaLL. DuaLL uses the Unbreakable to try and back out here as Bruness comes through, but it's the perfect bait, and Bruness has to dive away as Marky on the front line. Scissors galore, snip, snip, baby. Everybody's getting chopped, and it is Movistar Riders off to the start. They pick up Bruness, they pick up the second as Venzer is on a killing spree. PDW, it felt like the engage they wanted, but they got their heads chopped right off.
And Movistar just barreling it down mid here. We're 27 minutes into the game. I don't think the dead time is long enough to go for the end, but Movistar are going to get a lot of stuff. They might even be able to turn with those Baron-empowered recalls for the Cloud. Why are you chuckling?
xKenzuke, they tried to block the Caitlyn ult, but XKenzuke literally escaped with probably sub 10 HP. He just waltzed out with sub 10 HP.
That's what I get for looking at the mini-map, man. I was trying to read the map, bro, and I missed all the action. That's why you're the play-by-play.
I'm just looking at the champions. Let's take a look back here. It is going to be that Dragon being started off. This is the initial pull onto DuaLL.
It starts off decently here for PDW, but like it's a Braum. It just slaps down that ulti as well, which is a really, really good position right here for Movistar. And they're just too big. Like when you've got people jumping forward like Marky, like Viego, it's just too much. Like they're too far ahead. They're too strong at this point. PDW don't have the answers for the pure strength of Movistar. And that's going to be the difference right there. And plus, we saw the Cloud Soul has been taken down from Movistar. As I mentioned before, very, very good soul for these champions.
Yeah, it's always a little bit, I guess, the bait when you think you catch a Braum. He has a way to get back to his teammates immediately, and B, a way to essentially negate all incoming damages, you know, with the form of the Unbreakable.
Yep. And that attach is thick, bro. Getting through that is tough.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, my man. That is going to be a lot of pressure on bot side of the map here, but like, again, as we mentioned, the 1-3-1 capabilities of the Movistar Riders comp only it gets accentuated with Baron. XKenzuke pushing up, they're going to get another tier 2 tower. All towers outside the base are now blown down, and Marky, that's another pull. It's onto DuaLL again, but look, he ain't taking damage, and he's just disengaging. Teleport coming through, DuaLL finally died. Czajek finds the first kill, but the true shot barrage is big. XKenzuke tries to land the Everfrost over the wall, but they have a big minion wave to work with. Movistar Riders still feel confident that they can take an inhibitor turret here despite the loss of their support.
It's a good pick at the end. I was kind of with you on that one. I thought maybe you're giving a bit too much over to kill the Braum, but breaking the siege here by getting an engage, it's the perfect way to deal with a split push threat like Marky. Marky was just pushing down top, forced the TP in, and when that happens, it means that a lot of pressure is now being alleviated here for the side of PDW. They can hold on for a little bit longer. It's 45.
Doesn't matter though, because Baron minion waves are doing the work. Marky way too big in his own right to stop PDW, or be stopped by PDW. And again, because they are continuing 1-3-1 pressure, because they have those super minions pushing down mid, Baron actually did the majority of the work for them. And XKenzuke and Venzer were able to put enough pressure down on bot to distract and split that PDW team apart to allow Marky to get another inhibitor.
30 minutes into this game, it's really running away from the Ultra League's first seed right here in PDW. Reminder, this is a tiebreaker game. Whoever wins this comes out first in Group B. Whoever loses comes out in second. Yes, they both qualified, but getting that seeding is really important if you want to dodge the massive teams like Vodafone Giants, like KC. We've seen such good performances coming out of those so far. And this is it. It's looking good though for the Spanish third representative. Not even the first or second seed, mind you. This team is putting on a great performance.
And that's important to note. These guys came in as the third seed from the Spanish region, which is pretty nutty to think about. They had to come in all the way through play-ins, I believe. It's pretty crazy to see how they are absolutely turbo stomping their group right now. I mean, PDW put up a great fight in the previous game, but right now Movistar Riders have their edge, and no flash on color surely means he drops, as the true shot barrage will do the majority of the work here for Venzer. There is just one lane left open, one lane left vulnerable here, and Movistar Riders have got the key to unlock it.
Now that they're dead, now that the top lane's gone, Post team, it's going to be hard for them to hold on right here. As you say, there's one lane left, one place left to go right here for Movistar. It's not going to be long for this world. The rest of the team's going to collapse in right here. They've got attacking Marky on the Nexus towers. PDW are stuck between a rock and a hard place.
They do pull Jewel in again, buys some time. There's the ultimate, at least it comes out, finally finds the reset. There's the hook, lands onto Bruness. Maxlore for the second time in his game, landing those hooks from the possessed soul as XKenzuke knows he's dead, tries to trade back as much as possible. Movistar Riders potentially biting off more than they can chew, but come away with at least a tower and a 1-for-1.
All in all, that's good stuff though for PDW. You hold on, you don't lose the game, and as you say, a 1-for-1 in a 4v5 when you're losing, it'll take that any day of the week. You got champions that are scaling up. You've got 3 items now on Caitlyn, 3 items on Orianna as well. We'll see how this one goes down, because it all begins like most of the engages have this game, with Jewel getting engaged on and getting somewhat caught out. He doesn't actually die here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised that Movistar weren't able to whitewash this one. It looked really good for them. But I think it's just XKenzuke just kind of sprints it a bit, doesn't he, at the end there? He just goes a little bit too far forwards, a little bit too close to OD, who you've got to respect at this point, having a huge amount of damage on that Caitlyn. Yeah,
he's like 3.5 items. Caitlyn's mid-game lull has well been traveled past if you are OD at this point, although Maxlore maybe a little bit over-aggressive here, still has that vision from Bruness. The rest of Movistar Riders actually forced to teleport in to engage onto Bruness, who dives away onto the Lantern, gets away from the fight for the time being. Obviously the Baron spawning in short time. Venzer just about gets away with the Realm Warp. Movistar Riders, they're not surefire winning these fights. It is still up in the air. It feels like PDW, with the right engage, with the right fight, can still come out on top.
They've got to sit through a flurry of skill shots from Venzer right here, though. Bruness is going to come up with a hero play to try and steal this one. I don't think he can do it.
No, Marky actually... My God, what was that damage from the precision protocol? It doesn't matter in the time being. Shockwave comes through Jewel, buying time for his team to escape on the back of the Baron. I think at this point, that is an attempted hero play from Odie, but it can't come through. I like what PDW tried to do there. They did their best, but Movistar Riders just take that Baron way too quickly.
And because of those Baron-powered recalls, you're going to get back in time for this Elder Dragon contest. PDW, they're low. They can't go for this one. They can't contest this one in a pure fight. It's going to have to be a steal from Bruness, who doesn't even have his smite up. It will come up, to be fair. It's going to come up for this steal. This is it. This is the hero play. Can Bruness steal the Elder Dragon? If not, you're playing versus Baron and Elder. I'm not sure you can hold on.
You do have that teleport from Czajek, who's currently clearing minion waves at those Nexus towers. True Shot Barrage chunks out color. The Seralda's Grudge really doing work right now, as there is the engage. Doesn't quite land. The Glacial Fissure isn't there, but OD right now taking a huge amount of damage from those Mystic shots coming out from Venzer. You can see a slow build-up. Elder Dragon actually doing a significant amount of work. I mean, the Movistar Riders are still keen to flip this. They are taking down the HP on the Elder Dragon, and I think this is dangerous. The Shockwave is there. This could still be thrown either way. If they get a pull onto Marky, immediately forces out the Zonyas. That's the snipe coming out from Venzer as he's dominating those. Oh my word. Oh my word, those Mystic shots are absolutely chunking, but Czajek on the back line finds the kill. I think with the help of the Elder Dragon, another True Shot Barrage comes through. Maxlore is low. That's going to be color jumping in. I don't know who got the bloody Elder Dragon, but it certainly doesn't look like PDW are in the right spot right now. Odie able to back away. Oh! Czajek! What?
There it is. Does that answer?
Wait, they got it.
No.
They smited it. They smited it. Odie's got it.
Yeah. PDW got it, but he's not going for the end. Surely not. He's barreling down mid, but surely that's not happening. No. Okay. We're chilling a little bit right here. Perfect stuff. PDW coming out on top just about in that team fight. It was crazy close. XKenzuke died to like a Leandry's burn, I'm pretty sure. Oh my goodness. But Elder Dragon going over to PDW, exactly what they want. We're stalling this game out for just a little bit longer.
Honestly, I genuinely think they still got what it takes. They've got the range advantage in these team fights. One of the things that I think maybe we didn't touch on enough throughout this game is that as this game progresses, you have an Orianna and Caitlyn. You have got massive range advantage over Movistar Riders, who apart from Venzer are all quite short range in terms of the way they want to play these fights. So like if you're not able to get in and get onto Odie or Czajek ASAP, like you just get zoned out by a ludicrous amount of late game damage now as well. And I think that's one of the problems that I think Movistar Riders have been facing in these teamfight situations. They're relying on Venzer to do too much work because they can't get anybody else into the fights.
Yeah, you're not wrong. As you say, the low range coming through from Movistar, if you've got that area of control coming through from Orianna, now that she's had some time to build up these items, you can't ignore that at all. You absolutely are going to feel the pain if you're walking through Orianna's balls. And with Caitlyn as well, like the fact that she's got the traps as well, it just contributes and makes it very hard. Marky's going to go for this fight.
He has got the ultimate. They're going to immediately catch out Duel. It's a 1-for-1 if they trade across the board. Maxlore, are they just going for it? They're realm walking to the end. They're trying to face race this one down. They're at least going to get one inhibitor for the time being. Is that True Shot Barrage that's bought some time? The second Nexus Tower is dropping. This is a full-on backdoor attempt right now. XKenzuke and Maxlore. Maxlore has the edge. Still going for it. Oh, he flashes forward. He's stopping it, but he can't do it. The flash is there. Maxlore with the backdoor secures the win for Movistar Riders. They're going to go out as the first seed from our group.
What a game, man. Holy moly. We said after the first time these two teams played, yeah, that was entertaining. I don't mind watching another one of those. Somehow, the tiebreaker game was even better than the one we saw previously. What a ridiculous game of League of Legends, man.
Absolutely insane. I believe we've got an interview. I haven't even looked oh, it's with Venzer. We're going to bring him in. Venzer, let's get Venzer in for an interview here. That was absolutely nutty. Venzer, first of all, massive congrats. You're going to exit the European Masters Group as first seed after losing to PDW previously. What was the call at the end there? We have to talk about that end. What was the call? Did you feel like the 5v5 wasn't working for you? So you were like, well, let's just use our side lane and go for it like that?
Yeah, hello, thank you. I think in the end, somewhere in the middle of that game, we just figured out it's really hard to teamfight. They kind of outrange us. Like, only damage that can come through is like Ezreal poke, and then we just need to wait for them to go into us. So in the end, we were like, okay, just go through sides, and they kind of hinted on mid, like they picked us, but they overstayed mid, so we just Ryze into the base, stopped some backs. I mean, we didn't actually plan to end there, but it just happened, and we just ended.
I want to ask how you're feeling about coming out first in the group, because you guys are the third seed out of Spain. You had to play through the play-ins, and you smashed it.
Play-ins are above, bro.
They are. He's legit not wrong. Play-ins are above, but seriously, like, how do you guys feel? Like, I think I've always said that I don't feel Movistar Riders are the proper third seed from Spain. I think you just had a bit of a rough time in playoffs. But like, how are you guys feeling? Do you feel kind of vindicated coming into this group and doing so well?
Yeah, I think it's really nice to get out in first place. I think we played a lot of really bad games. Like, I think a lot of our games were below our level. But it's still nice to go out first, and now we just have to work on going back up to our actual level for playoffs, because playoffs is actually going to be hard this time.
And I actually got a question for you specifically, Venzer, because I remember my very first European Masters casting you in XL, back when you were playing for XL quite a few years ago. It's been quite a journey, I think. I know. That was the Origin, where we had Origin playing in the European Masters. How has the journey been for you over the last 3 years? And how has, getting to this point in the European Masters felt for you as a player, given the history that you've had in Europe?
I mean, not gonna lie, my journey has been a bit tough, a bit unlucky, I think. Missed a lot of U Masters by one game, twice in one split. And I've always wanted to be back to playing U Masters. And now with this team, I feel like this was the time, and this is actually the time to show how good I am and how good we all are as a team.
What are your expectations, mate? You come out of the groups, you got the play-ins buff. How are you thinking you're going to take it for EU Masters?
I think I think if we can start playing to our real level, I think we have serious shot to win it. I think at worst case semis. Best case, winning.
I hope we get to see that. Movistar Riders. You're a super exciting team. You've given us a lot of really great games in this group, and obviously congratulations, because it feels like Superliga is actually coming back with a very high level this European Masters. I think there's been a few EUMs where we haven't seen Superliga do as well as maybe they have done in the past. But this time round, you've got a lot of strong teams coming out of the Spanish region, and you're definitely one of them. I'm really excited to see how you guys do. Thank you, Venzer, for joining us, mate, and good luck when we get to the knockouts.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Just straight up with the goodbye. Just, you know, see you. Peace out. There you go. No, but it's great to hear from Venzer. Like I said, he's had a lot of history in the European scene, and as he said, you know, I think what I've always talked to people in Europe about the AD carries and the ERLs, people have always said it's such a hard role to play in Europe because there are just so many good AD carries. Like, you can name good AD carries in every league. The LEC, like, who would you even replace in LEC? Like, there are just so many good AD carries in Europe. So it's a really tough role to, like, stand out in. It's a really tough role to make yourself known in. But the European Masters and winning it, that is a good place to start. And so for Venzer, this is surely going to be something that he's, you know, even from a personal level, will be wanting to strive for with Movistar Riders, to at least put his name on the board for future LEC, you know, thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of AD carries come up from EU Masters into LEC. Obviously, Kazi's like the biggest one that you're going to mention, but there's just so many of them. I think like Jezu as well from SK. He spent a lot of time in the regional leagues. I think basically anyone that isn't like, you know, like Reckless or like Upset, you know, like Han Summer, any of those that isn't like the top three. Yeah, like this is a great place to get yourself known, and a lot of winners as well have moved through, as you say, onto the LEC stage.
It's been a great day here at the European Masters. It's been real fun. I've had a lot of fun in the second half of the day. It was absolutely fantastic to see Movistar Riders come out as first seed after some really exciting games as well. You've seen some quick replays here. As honestly, PDW, they had their shots. But Movistar Riders overall, especially giving Marky the confidence, or being confident in Marky, really paid off here for Movistar Riders.
I really love that, how they changed their playstyle from previous games. Having Marky more as like a role player, you know, he played like the Gnar and the Kennen and Gangplank and Malphite, and it's like, these aren't necessarily champs that you can really show off your individual strength and really flex your muscles. You're much more playing towards either weak side or playing towards team fights. Not in this one. They gave him that Gwen, and he absolutely popped off. Really impressed with the way that Movistar played. And I just think it was an exceptionally entertaining game. But PDW as well, no disrespect to them, they're going to go through as a second seed, and probably the strongest second seed that we'll see in the EU Masters.
Yeah, and I think it's a really, really good tournament for them and the Ultra Liga, who, you know, had a pretty poor showing in spring, like we said. So for them to get a guaranteed team into those quarterfinals is an absolutely huge win for the Ultra Liga as well, but also for the Super Liga to come out swinging. They said, you've got Movistar Riders, you've got Giants, and we maybe even have UCAM qualifying for all three seeds to potentially get through into the knockouts. It would be a huge resurgence for the Spanish scene, especially given, you know, how strong it's looking to be coming into next year as well, with some of the news that came out with the Superliga this time round. But Foxy, I think for the time being, that's it. It's done and dusted for the time being. We'll come back tomorrow with more games from the European Masters, another group to round out. We'll see you then.
Shockwave's still available for Paulston here if you can find a good avenue to approach this battle. But right now, XKenzuke is just putting out the damage. Shockwave hits onto two, though. XKenzuke and Venzer, the target on the backline. Lucky going in as well, but Devoxay is already dead. Isolated by Marky on the backline. Tanks are trying to trade in and will take out two. Marky going in. There's the charm lands on two. Jewel, though, with a great Magna Storm onto the backline. Lucky's already dead. Then Boxay trying to survive. He's already popped the stopwatch, and now he's popped himself. And Tricks just overextend at the final moment. They will lose the fight, and they will lose the game. And now the chase could turn back around. Czajek, no Vel walk for him. Odie's going to have to flash away from Scarface, but the damage coming out from that Aphelios is absolutely huge. Two quick kills. Leon next on the menu. Madly is down. Czajek still in a good position and still has the flash frozen tomb. And there it goes, and there go any hopes that Trick had.
The engage comes through. Leon, he overstepped. Suddenly those possessions are coming through. Hooks onto Phantomless as Rolfchen gets dropped down. And that's a double kill for Maxlore. He's finding the engage. Funky, oh, he can't catch a break. Maxlore, he's got a triple. He's trying to go for the penta. As another one comes through, this is the time to go surely as the first kill comes down. And again, Maxlore picks it up, but it is a 1-for-1. It's support for support. There's the slicing maelstrom. Oh my God. absolutely disgusting from Marky. Marky here to try and buy some time as the flash comes in. Can they secure it? Can they get it? In the meantime, Maxlore committing. He smites early, but he finds it. And Marky finally doing his job on the front line. Soaking up the damage, but Odie, he's in there. He's in there. Can Venzer get it? He can't. What a monster, Odie. And that's going to be the engage. They find the only angle that they can is onto Czajek as well. That is what they're looking for. But in the meantime, Odie, untouched. In his face, tank of Belios activated again. Severum too strong. There is nothing that Movistar Riders can do. The base is in bloody shambles. The risk of smite steals are much lower. And Movistar Riders, they actually drag Marky in here. Has got the ultimate available. And kubYD forced to back away. Color forced to back away as well. They catch him, but it doesn't mean much. As the Realm Walk comes through, the shockwave is good, but it's not good enough.
He's gonna flash in, and he steals the Baron!
One of the quickest games in competitive history.
How did that connect my engine? Shockwave on turn 4! Double kill for him!